Yo, Turkey, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
We are ready.
Just put me in the game. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. But we stay ready, though. We stay ready. That way we don't got to get ready.
Yep. Yo!
The boxing world has just reacted to the electrifying fight between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga. Here are some of the most shocking reactions.
Good, man. You know, I don't feel too good because, you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, I'm a person that likes victory, you know, but at least, you know, I gained the world tonight, man, and for sure I fought a legend, you know, but after this, man, the superstar status for sure, you know, I know I could be the face of boxing for sure after this.
It's a very exciting fight. Even the ref ended up on his ass at one point. Tell me about that.
Huh?
When the ref fell down.
Oh, yeah. I was laughing. Then I fell, too. I started laughing.
So, last thing, what did Canelo tell you after the fight?
He said I'm a great fighter. And
True
I got
story.
a great future ahead of me.
Facts.
He knows it's all love after the day. You know,
Were you surprised by Berlanga's performance in the ring tonight with his skills?
No, I'm not surprised. I think he don't fight like he used to fight. He defend himself a little more. That's why happened what happened. But you know, I did what I supposed to do. You know, being there and fight and do my best and win the fight.
Before this fight, multiple boxing experts and former fighters shared their predictions. For instance, super welterweight fighter Tim Tszyu expected Saul Canelo Alvarez to breeze past Edgar Berlanga. Tszyu was at the Canelo vs. Berlanga match, and he even made an on-air commentary about his battle for Prime Video the following month. In anticipation of Saturday's major showdown, Tszyu confidently revealed to World Boxing News his bold prediction: a straightforward knockout victory for Alvarez, one of today's pound-for-pound icons in the boxing world. Canelo stops him, Tszyu said, after working out at the Split T Boxing Club in Las Vegas. He added, "I think Berlanga's chinny. I saw a video of Erickson Lubin dropping him. That's a 154-pounder. So I think Canelo stops him easily." Canelo Alvarez's wealth of experience at the elite level gave him the edge to secure a win over Edgar Berlanga this weekend. Former world champion Tim Bradley weighed in with his verdict on the showdown. Canelo stepped into the ring as a heavy favorite, riding the momentum of an impressive streak where he's consistently battled against top-tier competition in the sport. Berlanga entered the ring as the fresher contender, the youngest of the lot. Yet, as this is his inaugural shot at a world title, Bradley was grappling with strategies to secure a victory for the Puerto Rican powerhouse. He said, "I always say fighters can predict the future. We know what we can and may not be able to handle. Berlanga thinks he can handle Canelo. However, he has to prove it on fight night." Compared to Canelo's seasoned skill set, Berlanga's inexperience will be the determining factor, not his proclaimed punching power. "I picked Canelo for the win, with the possibility of a late TKO." Oscar de la Hoya believed Canelo's star power was set to take a serious hit. The former fighter-turned-promoter played a pivotal role in shaping much of Canelo's career until a contentious breakup and ensuing legal battle drove a wedge between them. Despite the passage of time, the animosity lingers, with both parties, especially De La Hoya, frequently taking jabs at each other through the media. De La Hoya's recent critique of the pound-for-pound champion targets his choice of opponents. He argued that Canelo, who currently possesses 3 of the 4 major super middleweight titles, was sidestepping David Benavidez in favor of a less challenging bout against top contender Edgar Berlanga. When discussing the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga, De La Hoya remarked, that it was a boxing match no one had asked for, contrasting it with a UFC event that everyone would be watching. He described the Canelo Berlanga fight as another snooze fest, criticizing the pay-per-view price of $90 and in-person tickets starting at $500, calling it robbery to charge such high amounts for what he believed would be another dull Canelo fight going the distance against an inferior opponent.
So we're a week away from the boxing match that nobody asked for, right? And the UFC event that everybody will be watching. Canelo's fighting Berlanga, another snooze fest. They're trying to sell a pay-per-view for $90 and $500 minimum in person? It's just robbery at this point to pay for another lame Canelo fight that always goes the distance against a subpar opponent. I'll actually be attending the UFC event at the Sphere instead. I love the sport of boxing more than anything, and I will be watching boxing matches anywhere. So the idea I'm choosing to attend the UFC and support Dana White instead of Canelo tells you everything you need to know. Dana, I can't wait to see you next Saturday, buddy. I see that you got the same ab surgery I got. I always knew you wanted to be like me, bro. It will be great to hang out with you face to face. Let's go!
De La Hoya has forecasted that the event would struggle to surpass 100,000 pay-per-view buys. This would mark a significant departure for Canelo, who has consistently exceeded 500,000 buys and occasionally surpassed the million mark. De La Hoya further added that, as the PPV king, he believed the Canelo vs. Edgar Berlanga fight would not attract more than 100,000 homes. He asserted that no one would be willing to pay $90 for what he called a snooze fest, emphasizing that he was simply stating the facts as usual. The undercard boasted intriguing matchups including Caleb Plant vs. Trevor McCumbee, Arislandi Lara vs. Danny Garcia, and Rolando Rolly Romero vs. Manuel James. While Canelo Alvarez's bout against Edgar Berlanga on Mexican Independence Day weekend may not be the matchup fans were hoping for, the opportunity to see Canelo in action on such a historic occasion attracted a significant crowd. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. weighed in with his predictions and a detailed analysis of how this fight would likely unfold. Jones Jr. stands out as one of the sport's greatest intellects, not only for his prowess in the ring, but also for his exceptional coaching skills. When he offers a prediction about a fight, both fans and fighters take his insights to heart, knowing his judgment carries considerable weight. During an interview with Fight Hub TV, he shared that fans are in for an exciting bout if Berlanga can withstand Canelo's punishing blows and continue pressing forward. He said, "If Berlanga can take the onslaught and return it, then we got ourselves a great fight. If he can't take the onslaught, then we got ourselves a fight that's going to be good for 3 rounds and it's going to be over." Jones believes Berlanga must assert his presence if he hopes to challenge Canelo. As the chosen one, Berlanga holds a size advantage over Alvarez, and leveraging that could be key to his success. Dimitri Bivol employed a strategy that proved highly effective against the Mexican contender. By relentlessly applying pressure and showcasing his formidable power, he made the super middleweight champion feel constantly on edge and uncomfortable. For Berlanga to secure a win, he must stick to a proven strategy. Alvarez's rhythm is a formidable force. Once he's in the zone, halting him becomes nearly impossible. Berlanga's attempt to match Alvarez's skill would not only be futile, but could also jeopardize his own defense. In any case, Roy Jones Jr. has also discussed the claims that Alvarez avoided David Benavidez. Boxing enthusiasts have been clamoring for the showdown between Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez. Fans are eager to witness the undisputed super middleweight champion square off against Mike Tyson's current top pick. Yet, this highly anticipated match remains unfulfilled. Even with critics and enthusiasts accusing Canelo of evasion, it appears that this fight is not on the horizon. Moreover, both fighters seem to be pursuing different paths in their careers. In the same interview, Roy Jones Jr. speculated on a potential clash between Benavidez and Canelo. He envisions Benavidez unleashing a relentless barrage of powerful punches that would overwhelm Canelo. According to Jones Jr., Canelo would be hesitant to face such formidable power, particularly given Benavidez's impressive endurance. He said, "Throws a lot of punches, who we haven't really seen hurt yet, who has a very good gas tank, and who's big for the weight class. Everything Canelo doesn't want to see, David Benavidez is that." Even with all of these advantages, Jones Jr. is still of the opinion that he cannot defeat Canelo Alvarez. There's a straightforward explanation for this. Throughout his career, the Mexican champion has squared off against numerous opponents of Benavidez' style. Consequently, Benavidez fails to introduce anything novel that Alvarez hasn't already encountered or overcome. On the other hand, Bernard Hopkins believed that when Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga square off, Alvarez would prevail via stoppage. As a major underdog going into the fight, Berlanga hoped to pull off a stunning upset over one of boxing's most well-known superstars. Thus, it should come as no surprise that Hopkins, a former world champion himself, predicted Canelo would win and keep his championships. Hopkins expressed confidence that Canelo would secure a knockout within 6 or 7 rounds. He stated that while anything could happen, he strongly favored Canelo and doubted he would be wrong. If he had to place a bet, Hopkins said, he would back Canelo without hesitation.
Berlanga said on live press conference, we got to promote the fight. And Canelo said, no, I'm not playing with you. You didn't see that? That's what I take out of it. But one thing about when the bell ring, Canelo's serious. And that's why I say Canelo gets knock him out within 5-6 rounds. He gets the knockout. Canelo gets the knockout. Canelo gets the knockout within 6-7 rounds.
The buzz surrounding this bout had been woven into the fabric of boxing chatter for some time. The announcement came at a moment when Canelo Alvarez had just clarified his stance on a potential showdown with WBC mandatory challenger David Benavidez. Meanwhile, the potential Terence Crawford fight lingered in the background, and the possibility of addressing the IBF's mandatory challenge was also in the mix. Yet, despite these various narratives, the matchup was ultimately confirmed with Edgar Berlanga. A post from Boxing News showcased a condensed version of the industry prediction. In this post, Robert Garcia took center stage from the outset. Handing over a clean sweep for Canelo Alvarez, the award-winning trainer said, "Canelo's too smart. I think Canelo starts breaking him down. I think Canelo should win by knockout." On expected grounds, Eddie Hearn believed that Berlanga might as well accomplish what Jaime Munguia couldn't do. He said, "Edgar's a good fighter. He's undefeated. He punches very hard, and he'll come to fight." P4P star Jesse Baum Rodriguez shared the anticipation that fans might be in for a shock when Edgar Berlanga steps up to challenge Canelo Alvarez. Echoing the sentiments of Hearn, Rodriguez was equally optimistic about his matchroom colleague. He believed that the Brooklyn-raised Puerto Rican super middleweight would deliver a formidable and fiercely competitive showing. Paul Smith Jr. appeared to entertain these musings. The ex-British super middleweight champion contended that Berlanga hasn't yet ascended to the echelon occupied by Alvarez. Smith, a 3-time world title contender, believes Alvarez's intellect in the ring is simply too advanced. With Berlanga's fighting style coming across as too predictable, Alvarez would likely read his moves with ease. In Smith's view, Edgar Berlanga may still be missing the elite-level experience required to contend with a fighter of Canelo Alvarez's caliber. Despite acknowledging Berlanga's skill in the sport, even Teddy Atlas remained skeptical about whether the Chosen One was truly ready for the formidable test posed by Canelo Alvarez.
Listen, I think Berlanga is a talented kid who's getting better. He's improved recently. I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him. He is a talented kid. I compare it to Munguia, where Munguia, even though he had a lot more fights, Munguia hadn't had those kind of fights on that stage, at that level, to be ready, really ready for Canelo. He was still a few fights short. He still needed more seasoning. Even though he had a lot of fights, he still needed more seasoning. I see Berlanga in the same way.
David Coldwell, a former professional boxer turned top trainer, believed that if Edgar Berlanga were to deliver a 3rd career defeat to Canelo Alvarez, it would be one of the most surprising upsets in boxing history. It appeared before the bout that the story was already written in favor of a Canelo Alvarez victory. Nevertheless, some insisted that Edgar Berlanga should not be dismissed just yet. Known as the Chosen One, Berlanga stepped into the ring with an impressive knockout record, boasting 16 straight early stoppages that have captured significant attention. The real question remained, could his aggressive style penetrate Alvarez's defensive prowess? And when it came to close-quarters combat, how would Berlanga fare against a fighter renowned for his exceptional body shots and powerful left hook? Well, we finally got answers to these questions in today's fight. When Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga clashed, Diego Pacheco was paying close attention. Pacheco, heralded as one of boxing's premier rising stars, made his highly anticipated return to the ring this weekend to battle Machai Sulaiman Sulecki, but he delivered a prediction of the Canelo fight a few days ago. He said, "I think Canelo will stop him. I think Berlanga will maybe do better the first 3 rounds. I feel like once Canelo has found his rhythm and has found Berlanga's timing, he'll get him out of there." Include Caleb Plant among those who foresaw an uphill battle for the plus 1,000 underdog, Edgar Berlanga. Plant told Boxing Scene, "Canelo will go out there and do his thing. I don't feel like Berlanga will come close to beating Alvarez. He doesn't have the boxing skills, IQ, or chin. That's a recipe for disaster, but let him prove us wrong and show what he can do. I don't care how he does. I am focused on my fight." Plant further added, "Berlanga is on the list of guys I would like to fight. Right now, I am just focused on Trevor. This is his moment. This is his chance. I need to put all of my effort and energy into that. I'll be here at 168 pounds for some time, probably until I retire." Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.